don't come any closer. Cause when I get mad, I cannot control what's not happening. You think you can put your hands on my body. I'm no damsel in distress. Come too close, I might just lose it. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. Boy, you better sit down, you just shut your mouth. Cause I don't need a man to make me feel fine. Better sit down, you just shut your mouth. Yeah. You better sit down, you just shut your mouth. Cause I don't need a man to make me feel fine. Better sit down, you just shut your mouth. Yeah. You think you can put your hands on my body. I'm no damsel in distress. Come too close, I might just lose it. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. I knock you down like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. First in the box. Yes. We got Handling Jones. Salute to Handling Jones. First in the box was good. What's really good? What's really good? How you doing tonight? Third shift, late night as always. What's poppin'? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to be back at it again with another live stream. But before we get into that, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Cova, the Technician, and I'm glad to be back at it again with another live stream. Salute to the people watching me in the chat room. Salute to the people watching me in the clouds. I know you're up there. And salute to the people watching me on the replay. I greatly appreciate you for your time and your energy. Tonight, I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I want to talk about why people channels get demonetized. The reason why I want to talk about that tonight is, well, partially because, Super Sly had brought it up on his channel. Super Sly mentioned why his channel got demonetized. And it's something I wanted to talk about. I kind of talk about it at least once a year, the whole demonetization thing and why that happens and the reason why people's channels get demonetized and how you can avoid that. And the information usually doesn't change. It doesn't change that often. It's usually the same kind of information, the same reasons why people's channels get demonetized. So it's not going to be a super analytical stream. It's just going to be me just giving you the information. I'm going to pull up an Excel spreadsheet to show you, and we're going to keep it as simple in layman's terms as possible for the people watching. If you get the information, if you appreciate it, in the description box below is the ways to donate to the channel: Cash App, PayPal, Stream Element. You can click any one of those links, put that information in, and support the channel. Second in the box, we got David H. What's going on? Second in the box. And you can support the channel like that if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing. If you need help with your channel when it comes as it pertains to gear and software, you can hit me the email, mrcovatech@gmail.com. That is my consulting email if you ever need help with gear and software issues to set up your stream or your content, whichever one it is. And if you need help, I can help you. Send me that email. What kind of rig you got, bro? What's going on, Jim? Welcome back. JM asked me what kind of rig do I got. So if you're asking me about the computer rig, my PC build that I'm working with, we have a RTX 3090 as the graphics card. RTX 3090 Asus Strix Edition. The motherboard is the Asus Wi-Fi Hero 7, I think it's called. The CPU is the 3700X Ryzen 3700X CPU. I'm running 32 gigabytes of Corsair DDR4. I think it's 3200 megahertz Corsair DDR Platinum RAM. Cooler, some liquid cooler, whatever. Capture cards, the AverMedia 4K capture card. Got the Aorus Gen 4 500 gigabyte M.2 in there, Generation 4. Got a couple more SSDs in the back. The case is the Be Quiet, Dark Base Be Quiet 800 case. Got the controls on the front for the fans and things like that. What else is there about the PC? Yeah, it's a powerful computer. I plan on switching out the processor, and that's pretty much about it. So I'm rocking with 32 gigabytes of RAM. With OBS, the CPU usage is usually no more than 8.5%. based on the settings that I have. When I go live, I kill all my random browsers and stuff like that, but we don't run out of resources over here with this computer. As far as the camera goes, I'm running with the A6400, the Sony A6400, with the lens, the Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4 lens, and I am in f1.4 right now. That is the lowest it can go because I can't speak too much right now, but I'm in a low light situation. So 1.4 is for me, how I shoot. How I stream. Everything's dark, so I have the nano leafs. I have a set of 12, 3, 6, 9, 12 nano leafs. That gives me all the lights that I need. The second overhead is a floodlight, the LifeX. That's giving me a little bit of the highlights, as you can see. It's giving me a little bit of light here on the shoulders to make that camera work. And the monitor is the Asus. I believe this is the XVG 34-inch ultra wide monitor. 100 hertz, 100 refresh, 100 hertz and refresh rate. 1440p monitor, V8 panel, so very rich colors, which is perfect for me because I like the colors. The secondary monitor, I always mess this name up. The secondary monitor is the Asus XG17A. So it's a 17-inch 1080p portable monitor, portable gaming monitor. Refresh rate is about 240 hertz. 240 hertz. 1080p. That's a VA panel as well. HDR monitor. We got Latrell Jennings in the building. What's going on? What's popping, Latrell? So that's my rig. I'm not gonna get into. I got the Go XLR mixer. I should do a rig. I should do a studio setup. It's just that my studio is not how I have everything set up. It's not the cleanest, to be honest with you. There's cables everywhere, and I haven't been able to figure out the cable management situation because I have so many cables. The second computer on the floor is a RR3950X motherboard, Aorus Extreme, running 32 gigs of DDR4 Corsair RAM. I think that's also at 3200 megahertz, but that's at a configuration of 8x8x8x8x8. So I think it should be 32, right? Yeah. Graphic card in that computer on the floor is the RX. It's the 5700 XT. The Aorus Extreme, the Aorus Overclock, whichever edition. That's an AMD graphics card at the bottom. The capture card in that computer on the floor is another AverMedia Duo. So that's a dual capture card. It can capture. It has an extra output for capturing, inputting. So I can set up the dual PC setup. And that's pretty much about it. That's the rig and that's the setup, JM. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, yes. All right. Trent's Tech, what's going on? What's going on, Trent? What's up? Trent got me again on the thumbnail. Trent got me again. He caught me slipping. He got me again. So, how do you avoid getting demonetized? Like, how do you avoid that? So, let's just do baby steps. Let's just do baby steps right now, right? So, first of all, there's obvious things right now that you can't talk about on YouTube, right? So, and that's part of their terms and service and policy guidelines. So, whatever's in that, if you breach that, you'll probably get your channel demonetized, right? So there's that aspect of it. For example, you talk about COVID, you talk about the election, like QAnon stuff, stuff like that, things that they would consider medical misinformation. Watching in 4K from my mobile device that has a 1080p display. You doing it right, man. You doing it right. That's how it's done, baby. Don't matter how you do it. That's how you do it. You doing it right. So obvious things in the terms and service, right? That they outline, that they say you can't talk about. That is what mainly will get your channel demonetized. But there's little intricate things that are hard to understand that also get your channel demonetized. So first thing is with thumbnails, right? Now, the thumbnail thing is something that a portion of people watching my channel probably may have not experienced, because some people watch a lot of tech content and that's not something that they ever would deal with, right? And that's understandable. I watch other content, right? So one thing with thumbnails is people using like explicit sexual imagery in their thumbnails, right? And what was that? And using sexually explicit imagery in their thumbnails in a consistent basis. That will get a person's channel flagged for demonetization. Language in their videos. Talking about certain political situations, right? So, for instance, you have a channel like Hey It's a Gundam, where he talks about SJWs and Twitch dots and female gamers and things like that. And his channel consistently gets demonetized and his videos get demonetized. Now, in his video, he's not giving medical misinformation. He's not verbally attacking people. But his type of content and the imagery in his content, not so much in his thumbnails, but in his content, gets flagged as sexually explicit or adult in nature. Now, what happens with the Google AI system, Skynet system, however you want to describe it, it pulls information off of the thumbnails. It pulls information off of the visual images in the video, right? So what's being seen in the video, it pulls that information. Then it pulls information of what's being said in the video, i.e. the captions, the auto captions that are automatically populated on most videos, right? So for the people that don't know, there's a caption system in YouTube. Now, you can either let YouTube make these captions by itself, and that's when the AI populates the words based on what's being said, right? And it figures out what's being said and it makes the captions. Or you can make the captions yourself. You use a caption, you plug in the caption file, and you just upload your own captions. Now here's where we got Sir Ism. We got Mr. Isms. Mr. Ism. Sir Ism. What's going on, man? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, Sir Ism. The Macasphere is in the building. Big old Sir Ism's an old big head nigga. Shout out to Ism. So when the AI is pulling this information, it makes its own decision of what's being seen and what's being said, right? So here's where things get dicey. Because if you don't explicitly tell it what's being seen, it's going to assume, if you don't tell it what's being said, it's going to assume that a certain thing was said that might have not been said. And if you have images on the screen that can be taken in an explicit manner, it's going to take that information look through whatever filters the AI system has and say, okay, this video is flagged for demonetization for sexual content, explicit content, so for such and such. Now, that's the problem, one of the problems with AI. AI, as advanced as it is, does not understand humor, and it doesn't understand context. So a lot of political social commentary draws the line between being truthful and being like sarcastic. There's a lot of sarcasm in social and political commentary. And when you're reporting on things, there's context. The AI system does not understand context. It doesn't understand the context between what is being said. It can only understand that this is being said and this is what I need to do with what's being said. It doesn't do context very well. And that lack of context is what gets people jammed up when they get their videos demonetized and they don't know why. Right? And now we're not even talking about the keywords yet, right? We're talking about things that you really wouldn't know unless you spoke to a technical engineer about it. Like, you just wouldn't know this. So the Google AI system is pulling information from your title, your thumbnail, your description, your tags, your actual video, what's being said in the video, what's being shown in the video. It's taking all that information and is compiling it and is pushing it off to whoever it needs to see or to whatever system needs to see to determine whether or not that video gets demonetized. Now, since last year, Google brought in shorts, right? Shorts are videos that are 59 seconds or less in vertical format in 1080 by 1920. Okay, so that's the format for shorts. So with that being said, Google's competing with TikTok. Now here's the problem with the shorts. Google started to pay people for shorts. The problem is that the shorts that people were uploading were clips from from TikTok. So pretty much people were getting thousands of views off of TikTok videos re-uploaded as shorts. So of course YouTube doesn't want that, right? They want to compete with TikTok, so they want people to make their own content on YouTube. So they changed their policies, right? So whenever YouTube doesn't like something, they're going to change the policy. So they changed the policy when it comes to re-uploading content that's not your own. Now, where does that come into play when it comes to demonetization? So if you're a creator and you repost clips of content, right? You repost clips of content, but we're going to just tie in the fair use too, but you're not really changing the content. That can be seen as you just simply reposting content and reusing other people's content. And YouTube's not going to monetize you for that. And that also falls under fair use, where you have to add transformative change to the original work in order for it to be a new work. Example, if you used to clip this video and used to chop this up and used to provide commentary in between the video stopping and pausing, you just providing your own commentary to the video, then you have your effects in the intro and outro, that you've changed the original work, right? So that falls under fair use. Now, I know there are sometimes creators and platforms that abuse fair use, and they claim everything is not fair use, and they'll threaten to strike people's channels. It is what it is with that, right? But in general, fair use means transformative change to the original work. Fair use does not mean screaming fair use in the beginning of the video. Fair use does not mean putting up that little copyright thing in the video or the copyright thing at the bottom of the video. That does not mean fair use. Fair use is actually changing the original work and making it your own and uploading on your channel, right? So when people are getting demonetized or refuse monetization, and you see that line where it's telling you about reuse works, that is why you're getting demonetized, right? Now, again, there are things that can't really be explained when it comes to people getting demonetized. I can only explain what I can explain, all right? And I can only, talk about what I can talk about. Now, another thing that happens is like you'll have it's either a bot or a person that's doing it. And what they would do is they'll look at your channel, and even if you have videos that are privated, right? And this is what I learned. Even if you have videos that are privated, they can go and flag the privated videos, right? So if you have a video that is a problem for your channel, you simply have to delete it. Privating a video does nothing because the person that's manually looking at your channel or the bot that's looking at your channel can still flag your video or give you a strike for your video for a video that's privated. And of course, that can lead to a lot of issues when it comes to demonetization. Now, you can get assigned, so the Quartering last year had a meeting with Susan Wojcinski of YouTube. And she explained to him that your channel has a monitor. So what YouTube does, and I've confirmed this with other people, and I've watched other content creators, and it's pretty much it's the same thing. So YouTube has like these monitors that monitor certain types of content and certain creators on YouTube, right? So they'll just look for certain things. So what happens is that your channel could also have a monitor that monitors your type of content. This has nothing to do with the Illuminati, has nothing to do with the CIA, has nothing to do with the Freemasons or none of that. It's just how they do it to a lot of different channels, okay? So YouTube has monitors that monitors your channel. And what happens is certain creators, they have issues where they have a person that's manually demonetizing the entire channel. When that happens, that is not a bot. That is an actual person that's doing that. One example that comes to mind is the channel Mixer's Mods. He used to do a lot of like Fallout reaction content, mod content. Now they just do like reaction. It's like a reaction channel. And their thumbnails they use. I'll show you right now. Let's see what we got. I can actually show you better than I can tell you. Let me come here. Okay. Shout out to Real Brother 32. Let me see. Let me see if I got the right channel. Mixer Plays. Okay, so here we go. There we go. So this channel is called Mixer Plays, okay? And what they do is they do reaction content. So as you can see, what they do with their thumbnails is they use sexually explicit thumbnails to get the reaction, to get the clickbait. So pretty much a huge clickbait channel. And as you can see, just looking at the thumbnails, you get the idea that all they're pretty much doing is using sexually explicit thumbnails to get the click and get the views. All right. So all of this right here is how they get their views, on how they get people to click their videos. Now, this is all fine, all well and dandy, but the problem is that this can cause problems for you. Now, I can't find what the anyway, Now, if I can look on their channel, demonetize. There we go. So here's the video where they're crying and stuff. So I'm gonna show, and they're gonna explain what I just explained to you as well. Let me just get this playing.
Probably shouldn't be too happy though because I've had a terrible day. It's good to know. Actually, I wanted to make sure that you today.
You weren't?
Within the span today, as I was, checking the video list, I guess we're not on good terms anymore. Or YouTube kind of just like changed their mind and was like, oh, actually, never mind. Half of your channel is not suitable for advertisers or being shared.
They just decided as a mass sweep on our channel.
Yeah, I uploaded a video today and I guess YouTube didn't like the thumbnail. And I can understand why. Like, we have some pretty bad thumbnails, but they've always been okay with it. They monetize their videos. But I guess they really didn't.
That bot, that's a spam bot that hits everybody's channel. That's everywhere on YouTube. YouTube is more worried about removing dislikes than removing fucking Russian bot channels that are plaguing the platforms and live streams. So that's just YouTube. What's going on, Grind and Motivate? What's up? Welcome to the channel. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Sharky baby, what's going on? So let's get back to the video.
Like it because then whoever was in charge of that came down to her channel and then just demonetized.
Pay attention to what he just said. Let me just go ahead and fix that. Or you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to just show the whole display instead. Much better.
Their entire last 2 weeks of videos within the channel. But I guess they really didn't like it because then whoever was in charge of that came down to her channel and then just demonetized their entire last.
So again, right? So now look at these tags.
2 weeks of videos.
Boom.
Within the span of like.
So look at this, right? So what he said is, what he just said, I'm going to move myself. I'm going to move my big ass head over here. Okay. So look what he said. And we're going to just flip the transition over here. Okay. So look what he said. He just said that their thumbnail was so explicit. As you can see, they do a lot of explicit thumbnails. His thumbnail was so explicit. We got Von D. What's going on? His thumbnail was so explicit that the person that is assigned to their channel to monitor their content came down and manually demonetized their entire channel, right? So he's going to break that down.
20 minutes. So I have no idea how they even had the time to watch
No, it was done in 20 minutes, but what they do is they go ahead and click a button and they select all the videos and they say demonetize. That's how that's done. That's not a bot doing that. That's a person that does this.
all of our videos, but he just went down the list and just demonetized everything we uploaded in the last 2 weeks.
You can't do that. All of these were
They were all fine.
No, manually confirmed by another individual.
All of these were manually confirmed by YouTube.
That it was fine.
And then just
this
one person
guy
comes down and just goes on some power trip.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like, we can't even
Laid the smack down
argue
on the whole channel
this?
in 20 minutes.
No, there's no appealability. It's not even an age restriction. Usually if they age restrict, they give you a reason. But these are just, they don't give you any reason. They don't give you a chance to appeal. They just say, that's it.
Argue?
Nope. And then so I go back to all of our other videos too, right?
Nope,
Oh,
nothing
did
to talk
he just
about.
get tired? Like his clicking finger got tired, so he couldn't bother to demonetize everything?
Yep.
And so yeah, I noticed that also half of our backlog also got demonetized at some point.
Yep.
But there's some pages where it's like demonetize, fine, demonetize, like half of them. So somebody's, been having a lot of fun going through an entire channel. So
What that person did was looked at the channel. I'm going to get all these videos, got tired and said, okay, I'm going to get the videos as I go down the list. That's what happens. We got all things drone was going. I got to get this thing. We're going to move that over here for now. What's going on? Man, I got demonetized back in November. Damn, you too?
If you go to filter and monetization limited, I don't know, Gina, the list says 379 videos demonetized. So, you know, I go through all these videos and like I try and figure out why, but there's too many videos. He did like all of these within,
No,
I
also
assume, the
like
last
because
couple days.
before it was fine, and then did they suddenly say your face is demonetizable? Like, what is going on? I'm confused. You always watch these videos, like whenever a video gets demonetized, you say, okay, what was wrong in there? I'll learn my lesson and not do that in the coming future. And then upload videos that are according to your community guidelines. And then suddenly you're just like, everything's wrong.
So I even created a position. We actually have somebody here on our team that watches all of our videos. I watch all of them. Our editors watch all of them. We censor everything.
Yeah, you got hit for reuse content. Yep, we talking about that. Yep.
That needs to be censored, and we remove anything that can break the rules. But I guess sometimes they change the rules, and then all of a sudden half your videos are not
But
acceptable
what is
anymore.
the rule? What is the one rule that changed that instantly demonetized our entire video
There's
base?
no one
So
rule.
they don't really tell you, right?
Nope.
So it's up to you to go back and watch all 379 videos to find out what happened or what's wrong with them or what it is exactly within them that's no longer allowed, that was allowed like 2 weeks ago. It feels like more to me less about like strict clear rules and more so about how pissed off the reviewer is. Like
Pretty much, yeah. It has nothing to do with the rules. It just has it has something to do with the thumbnails. Like they be doing too much, but it is what it is with that. That's how they get their clicks. But that's really the personal review that just has a hard on, wants to fuck up the channel. That's really what it is.
I try my best to find out clear cut rules. Like some things I can understand why we're
Like, ends our career for us. If our career
guys ever see it. So we get the opinions of 6 reviewers. And so we usually only upload if we pass a certain.
Yeah, reuse content like TikToks. Yeah, but if it's your TikTok, it's not. If it's other people's content, if you reuse other people's content, yeah.
Threshold of like 4 out of 6. And so it's insane to me that must mean thousands of reviewers got it wrong on YouTube's end. Okay, that's how kind of flawed their system is. Where
So
you can
is
have
it-
6 people say that it's okay and then one person say, nah, never mind. Yeah, I know we always explain this, but when a video gets demonetized, I know it doesn't sound bad to you, but it actually just means the video's dead. There's plenty of proof. There's a lot of pictures. Whenever a video gets demonetized, YouTube stops sending out recommendations. The video just completely flatline.
What happens when a video gets demonetized? YouTube only promotes monetized content or content that can be monetized. So when a video gets demonetized, it no longer gets hit the recommended, it no longer hits browse, it no longer hits suggested. And the people who are sub to the channel, even if they hit the notification bell, they're less likely to get the video in their notifications, effectively killing the video. So if you have an entire channel that gets all of their content demonetized like that, that's what kills the channel. And especially if the channel gets the demonetization pulled, they lose their Cash App. Oh, no. They lose their Super Chat donation and their join subscription model button. That's what causes the problem, and that's what kills the channel.
Lines completely dies and does
Well,
nothing
also,
for your channel
when
whatsoever.
you say it's demonetized, it literally means we're not making money anymore.
Yeah, no, but that's fine.
How is it?
Because that can drive views to other videos that do make money.
Oh.
But the
which is
fact of the
almost
matter,
none.
it doesn't do that either.
Yeah.
When a video gets demonetized, it's just done completely. Yeah, and it's pretty clear that a lot of these really don't have a reason. Otherwise, they would tell us, or otherwise, they would have done this earlier. But I feel like a lot of it is just based off of like personal feeling. Like, I kind of feel like that girl standing next to the water is a little inappropriate. They don't have like a clear guideline system that isn't as dangerous as YouTube. Of course, it's not necessary. And you just by being here is really, more than enough. We're just happy that you actually come back every day to watch our video. You guys are still here. So I've done it before. I've done it multiple times. You believe I can get out of this?
No,
Right?
because like in a world of logic and where logic works.
Okay, so that's enough of that. They do the whole she crying and stuff like that. They get it together. This happened last year, right? And I commented. So this happened last year. They got it together. As you can see here, they still doing the same type of thing on their channel. They're still doing the same kind of content. Same thing with the thumbnails on their channel. Same, you know, same shit. Right?
Gee, with your best educated guess, what do you think we're gonna be doing today?
Are memes.
Yeah. So they still do the same thing. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's just the way it is. The best thing that you can do as a creator when you deal with that is to try not to walk along the edges, because sometimes your ass will fall off and you don't know how long it's going to be until you get back on, right? That's just the way it is. So, you know, Mixer Mods, they were doing the whole, she was all upset and crying and stuff. I knew they would figure it out and they'll get their channel monetized again. I wasn't that concerned for them. They'll be all right. You'll be all right. But yeah, just one big thing, man. If you want to walk along the edges and if your thumbnails are like this, like, you can't, you get what you get. Okay? That's just one thing that you got to put on, that you got on your shoulder when a manual ranker comes to your channel and they're looking at your channel and they see this. Yeah, you know, you might get hit with that hammer. You may get the skibbity paps, okay? Just to let you know. So if no one told you, see over told you. Your terms and policies and community guidelines definitely have something to do with your thumbnails as well too, okay? I've seen people get their channels flagged for thumbnails, okay? You got to make sure you're on point with your thumbnails. You can't be doing this in your thumbnails and thinking you're always going to skirt the lines. Like, they'll be all right. They got a huge fan base and they got a community YouTube monitor because they got like 1 million subs. So they'll be fine. Like, they'll be all right. But you won't be all right. Okay? There's nobody that you can contact that's in this chat room that's probably watching my channel now that you can contact and get your channel rights. All right? So tighten up. Don't get caught out here with thumbnails like that, okay? Do whatever you can to make sure you don't the dildo episodes get what? Shark Fin, he says, but if you only use a few seconds of someone else's content and you credit them in your video, should be copacetic. No, YouTube don't care about you crediting nobody. All YouTube cares is that you make that video transformative in nature and change it from its original piece of work so that person that you use their video cannot flag your channel or give you a copyright claim. And if you built your channel off of reusing people's content, when a manual reviewer looks at your channel doesn't get demonetized or flagged for reusing content. It doesn't matter who you give credit to. That don't mean anything. You got to make sure that the physical work is there in the content itself. You only live stream, you got hit for reused content. That is some wild shit right there. Now I got to get 4K hours back. That is crazy. That's unfortunate. We got BMT in the building. What's going on? We had a fat T-girl, man. What? We had a fat T-girl like a man chest on my channel. We still haven't been hit. Okay. The dildo episodes get pulled. All right. I need more arrows in the thumbnails. Yeah, they need more arrows. Yeah, I mean, they definitely need more arrows in the thumbnails. They could use with more arrows in the thumbnails. No such thing as fair use in these streets. Well, yeah, there is. There is a such thing as fair use. Even when people threaten fair use, like, they don't know what they're talking about, right? People take advantage of it. People threaten fair use, but there's fair use. Now, there are other things when it comes to the policy, terms, and service that, first of all, they're combined now. So the terms of service and the policy guidelines are the same thing. They're one and the same. They're a combined document now. So that can cause a lot. That's going to cause a lot of problems in the future for creators on YouTube, big and small, right? And Interactive DNA, you know, he broached that topic when we talk. I don't even like their channel, to be honest with you. I used to watch his channel, then he started doing that reaction shit, and I just stopped watching. I can't with the reaction stuff. The terms of service policy guidelines are combined. So if they were to say, hey, if your channel gets demonetized, you can't apply for remonetization until 3 months. That's official. You can't. You asked out. Something I want to say about keywords. Demonetized keywords, right? So as you know, this is the YouTube demonetization keywords from YouTube Analyze Content Creator. This is a list of words that he back tested on different channels. That he tested for monetization and to see which words get flagged for demonetization. Now, he hasn't updated this list since last year, since YouTube's been doing a lot of changes. Again, like I said, once you start to pick up what YouTube is doing, that's when YouTube makes the biggest changes. The biggest change that I saw was them removing their API from third-party sources. What's that? Social Blade. Okay, so I was actually kind of liking that song, but I just want to change it. Let's see what we got. We can rock with that. We can rock with that.
Stay in there, stay in the moment, stay in the moment.
Oh, there we go. Take me a minute, y'all. You know, I gotta find the right one. Anyway, so I haven't heard this one in a long time. So they have the keyword list. No, the YouTube thing. So YouTube had created a channel. What's going on, Tech for Your Needs? What's up? YouTube. There was a channel. There was a girl named Janelle Eliana, and out of nowhere, from zero, she went to 0 to 1 million in like 6 months to a year. I think it was like 6 months, really. And everybody was like, what the hell's going on? And people started to do research. One person in particular, and 411. And she started to research that her channel on Social Blade was getting these massive dumps of subscribers. And we're talking about like 100,000, 80,000, 16,000, 30,000, 40,000. And these were exact numbers per day. And this is when the information was correct with Social Blade. It was 100% correct. When she was doing this research, there were other people commenting on the videos of Janae say, how did I find this channel? I was never subbed to this channel. And that's like a repeating thing. So pretty much, YouTube made a channel go to 1 million subscribers. When people started to do research and started to pull the information directly off of Social Blade, because that's when Social Blade information was really accurate, YouTube decided to pull the third-party API from these third-party websites and revoked access. And ever since then, when people mention Social Blade, I always tell them this exact story, that you can look at Social Blade. I don't believe the information in Social Blade is 100% correct, because when it was correct and people were using it to do research, YouTube pulled the information and completely changed it. So that's a little segue into, you know, when YouTube doesn't like things, they change them. Coming in now to the demonetized keywords list. So we have these demonetized keywords. And these are words that if they are said or shown in the video or put in the description box or used in a tag, they could lead to demonetization, okay? Now, again, this list is as of February 2021. I'm pretty sure things have drastically changed since 2021. However, because of the changes YouTube does with the YouTube Studio and the different data sources or whatever it is that you want to call it, he said it's getting harder to verify the information. But again, you can still take this information as face value, and you can pretty much assume that some of these things still stand today. Now I'm going to get all hot and bothered. Oh my God. Yes, I remember when the API was removed. Yeah. So pretty much, the key here is green is monetized, yellow is demonetized. The asterisk means mixed results. So if you just take a little brief look here, for instance, you got Alex Jones. Now, of course, you know that Alex Jones on social media is a particular person. So you can assume that, this information right here may not be 100% correct. So here's what I'm going to do. In order for me to be able to explain this a little bit better, I'm going to let him do it.
Are you tired of getting demonetized? Do you wish that YouTube would just tell us what we are and are not allowed to be posting in our videos? Well, as it turns out, even the guys over at YouTube don't know all the answers. But I do. Well, sort of. So with the help of YouTube expert CeeLo, I've gone ahead and created a long list of words that will get you demonetized. Now before I show you the list, I have a couple of disclaimers. Number one, this list is not going to solve all of your monetization problems. There are a lot of factors that go into demonetizing a video, and having the wrong word in a title is only one of those.
Yeah.
And disclaimer number two is that this list is going to be constantly changing. So this demonetization detector is based around a machine learning AI, meaning it's constantly scanning things and learning different things. So what demonetizes you today might be different from what demonetizes you tomorrow. Anyways, let's get into it. So the whole list is in alphabetical order. As you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. Green means it's monetizable. Yellow means it will get you demonetized if it sees it in your title and description, stuff like that. Believe it or not, a large amount of videos that get demonetized are because you put the wrong word in maybe the title or the description or something.
Yep.
So currently this list has just over 15,000 terms, mainly pulled from the most commonly used terms on Oxford Dictionary, the most used search terms, and the most used terms from Urban Dictionary. So if you see some really strange terms in this list, you'll be able to tell which ones came from Urban Dictionary. So of course it's not quite the full English language yet. Maybe we'll get there someday, I don't know. So anyways, you'll scroll through this list and you'll see terms like, okay, abortion is yellow. Okay, that makes sense, it's a sensitive topic. But then abortions is green. So you'll actually run into a lot of weird ones like this, where you'll have two very similar words, but one is demonetized and the other is not. I think that what's happening here is every single word has its own ID, and the bot has to individually test each single word and basically decide to go into demonetization.
There's your answer right there. Look at that. There go your answer right there. Zulu, as of 2021, was a demonetized keyword. See how that works? Zulu was a demonetized keyword. So you had Zulu in your title. Guess what the system does when it sees that? Demonetize. See how that works? Took 5 seconds. As soon as you said that, I already knew what it was. Crazy, right? That's how that works. Let's let him finish what he's saying.
A dash vaxxer, and it's green. There's all these different variations of ways to spell a word, and the bot basically has to identify each one and tell if it's okay or not. So essentially, you can basically get around the bot half the time by just spelling a word wrong. However, if there is a common misspelling for a word,
and obviously, anti-vax, anti-vaxxer, anti-vaxxer, all of those will probably get you demonetized as of today.
then the bot might start to pick up on that, and it could turn yellow too. I mean, I wouldn't really suggest trying to put misspelled swear words or anything, because somebody could still manually come in and demonetize you, But let's take a look down here. So you can kind of tell which terms came from the Urban Dictionary. So, of course, all of these terms will definitely get you demonetized. But then you see some where it's sort of a combined word, and it doesn't necessarily see the first 4 letters of this word. It just sees that as some unknown word. I don't know what that is, so it must be fine. But yeah, like I said, this basically means that you can pretty much use derogatory terms as long as they're spelled wrong, or maybe you have like a number in the middle of it. And yeah, I wouldn't really recommend trying to get around the bot by using these compound words, I guess you could call them. Especially since, like, if a whole bunch of people start using that term, then the bot might start to pick up on it and it'll start getting you demonetized. But this is definitely a weird part about the bot, that's for sure. But let's scroll down some more. Alright, so like right here, the word gay on its own will demonetize you. I have no idea why Gaylord is seen as okay. Like,
And yes, there's a whole thing of YouTube demonetizing LGBT creators on the platform when it's supposed to be for LGBT creators. That's the bot. That's the bot. This is the bot now. This ain't a person. This is the bot.
I legitimately tested that and it came out green. So we've tested some words in a lot of different contexts. So you might have a title that's something like coming out as gay or something like that. And in that context, you might actually get the video monetized. But you can't ever really count on the bot to really understand the context well enough. So the bot basically doesn't want to monetize anything seen as like negative or hateful or anything like that. So it's probably seen a lot of things related to gay or gay marriage or stuff like this, and like seen it kind of related to a lot of negativity in some ways. Or maybe it's considered like mature content. So it might just assume that anything with the word gay in it is considered adult content. So yeah, occasionally you might have a video that ends up being green, even though it has a yellow word in it. But on the other hand, there are times where you might get a video that's demonetized that doesn't have any yellow listed words on this list. You know, I just want to kind of throw that out there so I don't have people coming after me saying like, I don't have any yellow words in this title, why am I still getting demonetized? Because yeah, there are a lot of little factors that can go into demonetizing a video. Basically, the bot will take a look at your video, it'll take a look at your title, your description, your thumbnail, your tags, and it's just looking for an excuse to demonetize you. So oftentimes, if it like sees a yellow word anywhere in any of that, it'll flag you. And as you can tell, it's not always easy to guess what that word could be. Like, believe it or not, you can actually get demonetized for having the word restaurant in your title. I figured that out the hard way months ago, and that was the main thing that set me off to want to create this list.
Bot don't
As you
give
can
a
see,
shit.
there's a lot of things on this list that don't really make a lot of sense. Like, North Carolina is seen as explicit, but North Korea, that's fine. You know, maybe North Carolina is flagged because of the whole trans bathroom situation over there. And I mean, well, I guess we don't really know what the trans bathroom situation in North Korea is like, so. But anyway, that is the list of demonetized words. I'll have a link for this in the description. As much as possible about the whole monetization bot in general. So if you're a creator and you feel like I've helped you make money with this list, consider helping me make some money so I can continue updating this list and just supporting everybody. So I've just started a Patreon for anyone who wants to support the project. I mean, like I said, I have no idea how far this is going to go, so if I get 0 people signed up, then I'll just continue doing this part-time on the side. But the more funding I get for this, the more time I can put into it. I know this information's worth a different amount to everybody, so I've kind of just...
So, as you can see, give me a second. That's the link right there in the chat room. I would also say you should also go support his Patreon if he ever updates this. You know, support him for doing it because this is a lot of work. So I would also say, you know, support his Patreon. That's his Patreon right there. We got Brother Love. What's going on? Do TubeBuddy and or vidIQ warn creators about demonetized keywords and titles for No. No. That's not what that does. That doesn't No. Not to my knowledge. You'll have to ask like Viper and them. To my knowledge, no. This is something data scientists come across. This isn't something a creative coach would normally bring to your attention. Not throwing shade, but it's just not something that they would consider it a thing. They would probably say it's like it's a theory or it's not real. Now, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not. Here we go. All right. Wasn't feeling that. I'm sorry. Throwing me off. Throwing me off. Keystone. What's going on? Back at it. So I'm kind of just giving you like the information so that you can have a better understanding of like what leads to a channel getting demonetized. There's the bot. There's the AI that's pulling the information. Bot AI doing the same thing. Whatever you want to consider it, right? Then there's a manual reviewer. Now there's another system that YouTube has, or they had, and they pulled it. And I'm gonna show you what that system was.
Be censored. How did you get that job? I sucked a lot of dick, dude.
You about the bigot bots, but I can't.
Like, why don't we take a guess? This has a very real effect on the views of the channel. It's not just the $1 that I made. I made $1 on this video. If I release 2 videos a month and 2 videos get demonetized.
Okay, so we're going to a channel. Okay, you can hit me up. So we're gonna look at another channel. We're gonna hit y'all with the hotkey action. We're gonna go to another channel called Nerd City. They haven't done a video in 2 years. I don't know why, but whatever. And there's 2 videos that they did on the channel that are very particular, and it talks about the same thing that I'm talking about right now. One is again the secret list of keywords that get your channel demonetized. And I see I have like 9 or 10 viewers, but I only got 6 likes. It helps the channel a lot, and it helps me, helps you. If you like the stream, if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, you like the stream, you share it out to your social media platforms so more people can get this information and get this and pretty much get the information at this point, right? We on information mode right now. And get this information. Help me to help you to help other people. If you don't do those things, then people won't get this information, because this is something I'm covering in detail. A lot of people don't really cover it like that. Now, they'll cover it in passing, okay? So anyway, so this is Nerd City. They've done 2 videos. I'm covering the first video when it comes talking about the keywords, and they do a lot of extra stuff. So I'm trying to get in between some of like the googly goop
related to LGBTQ community, it gets demonetized.
Yes.
And that happens. Like, it has happened to me maybe 3 times. Why is this? Like, why does the system react this way?
I can just tell you categorically that there is no list of words or keywords or terms or anything like that that is going to go into our classifiers making an a priori decision about whether a video is monetized or not. While we may have made mistakes in the past, the nature of our
Trying to make you money in places like Pakistan too.
In vain. I can read and
She said,
we do not automatically demonetize LGBTQ content.
or
at least as good as it gets. Getting
I don't want to pay attention to focusing on LGBT because I already covered that already.
yeah, okay. Well then, Sausage does. When Alfie asked her the question about the gays, she had this look on her face like, my dearest Alfie, I simply can't say.
shaking your head. Bad. That body language is no, no, no. Don't want to answer. I can't give you the answer. No, 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 no.
I want to tell you about the bigot bots, but I can't. Read my heart, not my lips.
You know, are you going to make another vaping video again? It was so, like, it's an important topic. I really believe it could.
The entire success of the company depends on the creative output of the YouTubers.
So what this is right here, so in Germany, they did the same thing in Germany, and these creators were forming to make a union because of all the demonetization that was happening on YouTube to the German creators. Now, after this video, I'll come back and look this up to see what happened with this, but these people were going to create a union due to the rate of demonetization that was happening to these creators in Germany, and people were getting tired of it, especially when it. So that's a separate thing. I want to actually, now that I'm reminded of this, I'm gonna go back and look this up. Okay.
Therefore, it is only fair that YouTubers can also participate in the decision making and the future of the platform. We demand the establishment of an advisory board that is fully integrated in all decision making and has something to say about that.
Attaching any secret information to our accounts and not providing that if requested violates European law.
Every video that a YouTuber uploads will be actually inspected by a whole army of bots and human sensors and then put into categories. These categories can then be excluded by the advertisers, which means that this video won't make any money and won't go anywhere in terms of views. The YouTuber can only guess why.
Let me break that down for you real quick. All right. So what you're seeing right here is what happens when a channel gets demonetized, okay? That straight decline is a result of the channel getting demonetized, losing suggested, losing browse, losing search, losing notifications. The views plummet on the channel. That is demonetization right there. I promise you, anybody that's telling you something else, they do not know what they're talking about. That is demonetization. That sharp decline in views is consistent with any channel that you can find on YouTube that's discussing their situation when it comes to demonetization. I'm just moving my finger so you can see, okay?
Any money and won't go anywhere in terms of views. The YouTuber can only
anyone. They have personal energy.
Allow YouTubers to learn from video to video.
And at this point, it's quite clear that these unpredictable, unaccountable automated systems and the lack of a human contact person for most YouTubers contribute significantly to these problems.
I'm exhausted. I'm already exhausted. This is something that you guys don't hear about. It's like I'm already really tired and I'm really stressed out. There's a whole team that is relying on me, and I have someone who comes into work every day, and I can't pay any of these people anymore, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have no one to talk to about it. So that's great.
But let's talk about the downside of making all of this public, where bad actors are able to break the rules and not be detected.
I wish we could stop saying bad
for wrong and misleading metadata. A human reviewer will look at that report, hand his channel a community strike, problem solved. Whenever YouTube cracks down on a channel for violating community rules, people find out about it. The creator complains on Twitter, other creators notice. When YouTubers hear about a community strike on another channel, they try to avoid that happening to them. It teaches a number of people the same lesson. Getting into the partner program is not automatic anymore. It's something that people have to work for and then want to keep. If YouTube cares about its creators and wants to stand up for them,
YouTube don't give a fuck about none of these creators. No, they don't. Sorry, they don't. They don't care about you. Just if you didn't know, if you didn't know, YouTube does not give a shit about you. Okay, if your name ain't CNN, Fox News, or you're some media actor or some big time comedian, they don't give a damn about you. I promise you that.
Solution is not going to be train the bots to be a little less bigoted.
Right. Or let's train the bots to understand the nuances of vaping regulation. Or let's have the bots interpret.
So that's part of that's one part of it, and I want to show you the other part. Oh yes, the secret rating.
Imagine going to the movies and you're not sure what and with a video, and other creators started to make videos about this, and YouTube had to deal with it. It became a PR.
But if the video is also not suitable for a wider audience, then he might see a poor performance. So they're basically saying, if a video, we dodge around the
Reading the content based on its.
Okay. Let's see. So this is the second part, right? So the second part is YouTube's secret rating system, how to stop it from censoring channels. This is what was called the P-score, okay? So let me explain what this was. So what these people uncovered is that YouTube has some kind of secret rating system that they would use to censor channels, right? So that's how you would see that some channels would just get all the time hit automatically. You don't know why. It's because of their P-score. And you're breaking down the code right here. Okay? So let's say, for instance, so what you would do is you would right click and view the source data of the web page. And there will be a certain line of code that you can look up. That code would be your P-score. Your P-score would correlate to a chart that these people found and that they did their data on that would show you whether or not your channel was flagged as mature. So to back up a little bit, when we're talking about mature channels, one thing that you can do on your channel, that you can do right now, that anybody can do, is you go to your channel, right? And you go here, and then you go to restricted mode, okay? And you activate restricted mode. So what restricted mode does is that it hides anything, they hide anything that can be labeled mature, okay? So my channel, I hit restricted mode. And as you can see, my videos don't really disappear that much, right? They don't really disappear. All my content pretty much stays up, so because my content doesn't really get flagged as like mature content. But if your channel, right, it's hard for me. I used to do this all the time. It's hard for me to find a random channel. I have to actually find a random channel now. Oh, Nick Taylor. Let's do Nick Taylor. So we're gonna go to Nick Taylor channel. We're gonna do restricted mode. I'm pretty sure a lot of his videos are gonna disappear. Yeah, like I thought. Because he's done videos 211, 2. So what I will do now is, I see these videos here. I'll turn it off. And I'll see what disappeared. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, there's quite a few videos that actually did disappear on restricted mode. That means those videos, through whatever system that YouTube is doing, have flagged. Now let me look at this. Blackmail YouTube content creators. I have a message. I bet you that video disappears because of the title black. Knew it. Money. Yep, it's gone. You see? Now, I can also come here on a keyword list. I can type in black. Let's see. We're gonna go down. The word black is not demonetized, right? This is of 2021. However, when you look up the mature filter and go restricted mode, that video disappears. I'm gonna turn it off again. Look at that. That video is right here and it was gone. So that is a way that you can see whether or not you have what your issues are on your channel. A famous person who has this issue too is Viper, right? He's a tech creator. We're gonna go to Viper's
So I've been making videos on YouTube.
We're gonna go to Viper's channel. We're gonna hit this right here. You're gonna take a look at all the videos. Now watch them disappear. Okay, they didn't disappear. All right, because he used to have this issue where the videos would disappear on restricted mode. Okay. At least that issue was fixed for him. Okay, so he's good on that end. So that's just one thing that you can do so that you can see if you have issues on your channel, right? That's the easiest thing you can do, is just simply go to restricted mode. Do your videos. Matter of fact, let's go heavily. Check out slide channel real quick. We're gonna go to super slide channel, heavily flawed individual. This is the video here that inspired me to do this stream. And we're gonna take a look at the channel real quick. I bet you these videos disappear. Yep. Half the content disappeared. Yep. Half the content disappeared, okay? Yep. Look at all that content that disappeared, okay? Especially some of these streams. So again, that's how you can see what the issue is. That's the easiest thing that you can do to see what the issue is on your stream, and just look at your channel on restricted mode and see what actually disappears.
The AdSense tool to let YouTubers know if they're going to get paid or not. That's not being used by YouTube's algorithm. Okay, fine. However, the root causes of a video being demonetized, and let's say rated.
Boom. And look, I just explained that earlier in the stream. The main focus when it comes to getting a video, I'm back, my bad, I was busy. It's all good, man. It's all good. The main reason as to why your channel or video gets demonetized goes into 4 key factors. Remember, I said that earlier in the stream. Your thumbnail, your title, the captions, and the metadata, tags, description, things like that, okay? Those 4 factors is what causes a channel or a video on a channel to get demonetized. I just ordered a Series S on GameStop, and Twitter had to know, of course.
Rated M, which comes as a result of layers of machine learning algorithms, scanning, identifying.
Okay, so to break this down, so it's a number. It uses a number to categorize the content that's on the channel, and it goes by different levels. So 9, Jen Selter and Instagram's most popular body part models, how to get real followers. That's the title. It gets a 9 on racy, 3 on conflict. That's fake. Racy models is 6. Adult content, racist language, adult content, adult content. Language is so important to the bot. See, the AI, the bot, language is the most important thing, right? Language is what it uses to categorize things. If you change your language, it confuses the system and you fly under the radar. And this is the one thing that it's hard for creators to understand, is the language aspect of leaving content on YouTube. If you have a problem with monetization, it's the language that is the most important thing when it comes to YouTube. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna let him finish I'm gonna let him keep talking.
Sorting and rating the content based on its tags, title, thumbnails, and closed captions is affecting search and discovery. That's the important thing. They're admitting it there. It's an admission that sounds like a denial.
They're saying yes and no at the same time. It's like tennis. It's like going back and forth. Hey, we dodged around the issue.
And all of those interpretations of videos made by machines aren't being explained to YouTubers, can't even be seen, and can't be appealed. So,
and I promise you, the engineers at YouTube can't explain it themselves.
Let's boil it down to the yellow light doesn't do anything. Does that answer all your questions, you nosy creators? The next piece of evidence about the secret rating system comes from Kwebbelkop, who, if you don't already know, is a huge Let's Play YouTuber with about 8 million subscribers. YouTube holds these VIP meetings for creators at what they call their creator spaces. PewDiePie was just at one in London. At one of these meetings, at the London Creator Space, Kwebbelkop heard something in the meeting that kind of piqued his interest, so he followed up on it in an email to his handler at YouTube. He wanted to know if his channel was considered kid-friendly, and if not, what he could do to change that. The reply he got states, "I checked your channel, and I'm happy to say your channel is DV-teen. Please keep this confidential."
Let's read that for a quick second, right? Hey, thanks a lot to you. It was great to have you over, and we really appreciate your optimism and honesty. Please continue. I checked your channel, and I'm happy to say that your channel is DV-teen. Please keep this info confidential. The rule of thumb definition is that every view of the channel should be appropriate for audience members 13 and up. Your channel should be visible for most users, which means that if you were to go into restricted mode and if content disappeared, that means your channel is not suitable for people 13 and up. Your channel should be visible for most users, but will not be displayed in the YouTube Kids app. For instance, a lot of people's content just in general won't show up in YouTube Kids app because the Kids app is for kids. Looking closer, you do have a few videos with an MA rating, like this one, for instance. In this case, you might see that the video will get less recommended views, for instance, since we will not display it next to a DV-teen video, for instance, which means if your video has an MA rating, your video will not get shown next to a DV-teen, and that means that your video won't get shown to other recommended videos. And if you're not popping up next to other recommended videos, you're not getting seen. And if you're not getting seen, you're not getting views, and you're not getting subscribers. And if you expand this and scale this situation up, if this is happening to an entire channel, what happens? You see that giant dip in your views, and you start seeing less views overall on your channel. Overall, I think there is no action to take for you except being mindful with the thumbnails, since it can contribute to the rating. Again, looking back at Mixer mods, if you use a lot of explicit thumbnails, okay, if you have a lot of explicit thumbnails, that contributes to whether or not your channel is good for teenagers and up.
That email contains a remarkable piece of information, and after Queb shared it, he says he's been iced out. He stopped getting invited to those creator space meetings. That just never happened again. In his own words to me, he feels he's been blacklisted. As you see in the email, he was asked not to share this information. Why? Who knows?
Yeah, Quebble you can't. You wasn't supposed to share that information. You're supposed to keep that to yourself and let everybody suffer.
This is the kind of specific information that can help a channel understand what's happening to them.
Yes, that actually is very helpful to people to figure out why their channel is getting demonetized. Yes.
So he shared it. I say good for him for doing that, and thank you. Whenever YouTubers get a press release or an official...
And I promise you, there's a lot of creators that would have never shared that shit, would have never told you that. I promise you. Matter of fact, there's people that's watching me in my chat room right now who watch people daily, who I've seen their names on that demonetized keyword list, where on the Patreon on the guy's Patreon. I've seen their names on his Patreon, but I've never heard them say anything to any creators about the information that was on that list. Just saying. What's going on, Jason C? What's going on? I've returned, and yes, you're in 480p.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Get out of here. What's going on, Jason?
Official posting by the CEO on the blog. The wording is always so intentionally vague that we can't understand what the words literally mean without sort of busting apart the language and trying to apply it to other unconfirmed assumptions about how the website works. It's as if they're taking their internal policies and memos and feeding them into a confuser machine. Even for a community of people who are relatively gifted with language, it's maddening to try and reassemble the meaning out of these releases. Thankfully though, on the AdWords side of YouTube, just one category. If you build a list of videos that are saying, there's your video ratings, pumping their money into the platform, the structure of YouTube reveals itself. Things are a little more cut and dry. If you're running an ad campaign and you want to limit your ad,
here it goes. Here's the kicker.
To play on videos that are rated G or T or M, you can simply click a tab that, well, abracadabra. If you still had any doubt, there's your video ratings. This tool would not work, and it would not be structured this way if videos were not being rated internally. We can use this tool to gather information and sort of reverse engineer the way that the system works. By excluding all tabs but one, and then collecting information on where your ads were placed.
Break this down real quick. So what he's saying is this. Google AdWords, the AdSense platform, has content labels that is applied to content that is shown on sites and on YouTube and videos and content in general, okay? So what he's showing you here, and I'm going to move myself all the way over here. I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller, right? Make myself a little bit smaller. So what he's saying here is this. What he's showing you is how the content is rated. And we're going to look at this right now. So you got digital content. We got DL, general audiences, content suitable for families. You got DLPG, most audiences with parental guidance. DLT, teen and older audiences. DLMA, mature audiences. The DV teen is not there. I don't see DV teen anywhere there. Content not yet labeled. Sensitive content. Tragedy and conflict. Sensitive social issues. Profanity and rough language. Sexually suggestive. Sensational and shocking. There goes your content ID labels for your content on YouTube. This was as prevalent in 2019 as it is 2022. This has not changed, okay? For a fact. Let's continue.
You can build a list of videos that fall into just one category. If you build a list of videos that are, say, rated M, then maybe we can look at the videos on that list and better understand the rating system as it's applied to all videos across the site. CeeLo and the Carloplan group created a research project to do exactly that. For 1 month, they ran ad campaigns excluding everything except videos rated mature and targeting the channels of H3H3, PewDiePie, iDubbbzTV, Leafy is Here, Drama Alert, Internet Comment Etiquette, and I Hate Everything. The videos that had ads placed on them according to this rule created a dataset of confirmed rated M videos. Many of PewDiePie's videos were revealed as rated M, and those videos all...
I told this. Well, listen. I went over this like 2019, right? Because PewDiePie was getting shadow banned, and I can even pull up. I don't want to pull up his video, but Roberto Blake was saying, PewDiePie is never shadow banned. That shadow banning is not a thing. Shadow banning is not what you think it is. Shadow banning is demonetization to where you don't get seen and your content doesn't get seen anymore. There's different levels of the shadow banning, though. There is a level where they just delete your fucking content and delete your comments in chat rooms and shit. That's what happens to Nicks. That's a different level of shadow banning. The level that happens to most creators is what we're looking at right now, where you get these mature ratings and all of your videos just get dropped down to nothing. That's what shadow banning is. So when people say, I haven't seen your video and I didn't know you were live and I'm not getting notifications, that is shadow banning. That is what that is. That's demonetization equals shadow ban.
All performed very poorly compared to his other videos, but we'll get into that in a second. None of I Hate Everything's videos were served under the mature filter. He's even said on Twitter that he thinks the bot is passing right over him. But why? Possibly because he's doing something that the other guys don't. I Hate Everything self-tags his videos as satire when he thinks the bot is passing right over him. But why? Possibly because he's doing something that the other guys don't. I Hate Everything self-tags his videos as satire when he uploads. The satire tag seems to create some kind of flexibility that's protecting his videos from the content filter. So I Hate Everything has benefited from this satire tag loophole, perhaps without even knowing it was the reason why. Meanwhile, other content creators who also employ satire as a form of comedy, like H3 and PewDiePie and iDubbbz and Ice, have all had their catalogs of content slammed.
And what have I said whenever I started talking about AI? The AI system, AI in general, does not understand context. AI does not understand satire. Okay? So it doesn't understand context to where it will affect you. And it doesn't understand satire to the point where it would not affect you, right? That's the problem with AI.
By this mature rating.
And I really want to talk about this. Because I'm pissed. And I'm probably more pissed than I should be.
They show up on your videos, and that's what it feels like. Pissed. You got pissed on your soul, and now you're pissed, because most of the time it just doesn't make any sense.
All right, listen, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take away their money, and we're not gonna fucking tell them. Don't you think we should just talk to our creators? That's the YouTube way, isn't it? Why would they talk to their creators?
Better communication about this from YouTube could have saved those creators a lot of grief and confusion, not to mention all of the creators downstream who are creating similar content. And that mature rating on the list, and similarly affected, we see first-person revelations of sexual misconduct, part of the Me Too movement.
What's going on, Super Sly? Yeah. AI does not understand context nor satire.
Rated M. The recent openness about sharing and listening to stories like this was an important cultural moment, and censoring that directly undermines it. There's evidence that tagging me, they need to adapt. We're already seeing that happening. You know who's in a...
Okay, there looks like there's one more video, because this video didn't cover what I wanted it to cover.
You know what group?
There's one more video, and it goes over the P-score. I want to show you the P-score video. It should be this video right here.
Hey, why are there numbers on your face? YouTube has been destroying the livelihoods of the community of content creators that it once attracted. And that's making a lot.
Now, if YouTube doesn't account for monetization status, then there would not be any visible pattern, which there is. So what our research shows is that demonetized videos, especially with lower viewership, are less promoted than monetized videos with the same viewership. Such a significant difference can only be caused if YouTube is actively devaluing demonetized videos using some sort of function.
Getting marked with the...
Which means, again, there is a system, a secret system, that YouTube uses to devalue, de-rank videos, and apply the demonetization to the videos. And again, what happens when a video gets demonetized? It loses rank, it loses search, it loses recommended, it loses browser, and it loses notifications. What happens to a channel that when all of the videos get demonetized, the channel loses rank, the channel loses search, the channel loses browser, the channel loses recommended, the channel loses notifications. When all of these things happens to a channel, what does the creator believe and think happened to the channel? The channel has been shadow banned. Again, shadow banning is demonetization. Complete demonetization of the channel. And again, when YouTube demonetizes content, YouTube only promotes content that is able to be monetized. Even if you yourself are not monetized, they can still make money on your content and just not pay you. But if they can't make money on your content because your channel is demonetized, no one will see your shit. So basically, creators need to be Mr. Rogers and go to Sesame Street. Is that fair? Yes. 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 Not 100%. Not 100%. There's a way around it. In these videos that no one's bought. Stop it. Come on, get out of here with that. No one.
Get out of here.
Come on, stop it.
Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
No one's boycotting YouTube. No one cares if you boycott YouTube. What you need to do is take your ass to another platform. That's another conversation.
The values 102, 104, and 109 is not an outright death sentence for a video, but think of it like a significant, sensational, and shocking. One friendly or not, and as they do so, are dropping secret codes into the metadata of the video. Here are the codes that we can be fairly certain now we know what they mean. 102, profanity and rough language. 104, sexually suggestive content. 109, sensational and shocking. 113, tragedy and conflict. 115, sensitive social issues.
Now, let me go ahead and speak sensitive social issues. Let me go ahead and speak to a select group of people who may be seeing this content. Let me go ahead and speak to a select group of people who may be watching this in the clouds on the replay. I'm only going to say this one time to these select group of people because I don't bother too much with this select group of people. I can guarantee you to this select group of people that their content, the majority of their content, gets flagged for profanity and rough language, panels where people are cursing and screaming and threatening murder, tragedy, and conflict, discussing certain sensitive social issues regarding race, sexuality, gender, sensitive social issues, talking about sex, prostitution, maybe other explicit things, sexually suggestive content. And people should go and people should get rid of, and we need to do away with these people, and sensational and shocking content. I can assure you to these people who know who I'm talking about, if you have an issue or you have been having issues on your content and you wonder why you've been having issues for so many years with your content, I promise you, this is one of the reasons why you have these issues with your content, with your channel, with your platform. It's what's being done on your channel and what's being done on your content. That's the only time we'll say that. That's the only time we'll speak to these people. I ain't gonna say nothing else to them. We're gonna continue.
But there are many more. If you're a content creator, I invite you. Take a look and see what your demonetized.
Okay, so
there are many more. If you're a content creator, I invite you. Take a look and see what your demonetized videos have been tagged with. Tryhard's #1 was tagged with 46, 59, 64, 76, 102, 104, 109, and 115. H3H3's new booby and eggs cooking video was tagged with 46, 59, 64, 76, 89, 109. What's 89? What's he got that we don't got? Is it the eggs? Nobody knows yet. iDubbbz Content Cop on Rice Gum, which was demonetized, picked up a whole slew of these. It was demonetized to hell. But here's the other thing. Even when a demonetization is appealed and then granted by a manual review, these codes appear to remain on the video.
Okay. So let me explain the codes. I'm gonna explain the codes to you because YouTube changed this. So if you go onto a video that's actually, I'm gonna try to keep moving my face over here. So if you go to an actual video that's demonetized, right? If your video is actually demonetized and you go on the actual video itself and you right click and you right click and you view the page source, what happens is it shows you the source data of that video on the webpage. Now, if you were to hit Control F and search for excluded _ ads, close quotation excluded _ ads, close quotation, and you look for that line in that source code, you will then come across excluded _ ads, right? Excluded _ ads then has a list of codes that are attached to this particular line, open and then closed at the end. What they're saying is that these numbers are attached to values that YouTube uses as a system for the AI, the bot, to derank, devalue, demonetize the video. Now, if you as a creator were to have this table chart of codes that YouTube uses, and you were to figure out all of these different codes that YouTube uses, you would then be able to understand what not to show in a thumbnail, what not to put in a title, what not to show in a video, what not to say in a video, what not to put in a description of the video, and what not to use as a tag in your video, and you will never have issues with demonetization. Now, of course, like with everything, once this information was uncovered, once this information was released, YouTube changed it overnight. Now, again, like everything we've seen in the world, if it wasn't an issue, you would have never done anything about it to begin with. So, of course, it must be an issue if once the video gained traction, YouTube issued a change on their website overnight. Okay? It's not a conspiracy. It's just a fact. Let's continue.
And maybe you're thinking, okay, boo-hoo. So naughty videos, as determined by a computer, don't get ads. That's just part of the punishment.
And while we are here, while we are doing this, right? If you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing, you can definitely support the platform. You know, like and subscribe if you're new. Let me just see. Let me see if it's still here. You can, you know, support the channel, like and subscribe if you're new. Definitely check out the description box if you want to wait. If you want to, did everything crash? Did my shit crash? Okay. If you want to donate, that information is in the description box below. Of course, now I can't find it. Let's see. Let me just show you. I missed the 4K video uploaded. That was a stream. You can go ahead and check the stream out. That was last night's stream. So, pretty much what they're saying is this, right? This is the source code of the actual video that's being uploaded, right? And let me just make sure I see to get the right information from here. If you were to look up _ads, let's see if it's still here. If you used to look up _ads, can't find it. So if you used to look up this _ads, right? And you just to browse through it, just browse through all of this data. Give you call bullet living room. Okay. Let's see. Appreciate the Cash App, Super Sly. Masterclass breakdown. I greatly appreciate it. As you can see, you can't find it, right? Because this information was removed. Excluded. Let's try one more time. Let me see. Maybe it's still there. I'm gonna go here. We'll try one more time and we'll move on. Do P rating. 4. Okay, so you can't find it. All right. So we'll continue with the video because it's been taken off the site. But anyway,
here to remain on the video. Or maybe you're thinking, okay, boo-hoo. So naughty videos, as determined by a computer, don't get ads. That's just part of the punishment. The videos carrying these codes are also getting suppressed in YouTube search and discovery.
If you take the related videos for videos that are demonetized and then arrange them by the total amount of views, with the lowest to the left and the highest to the right, and then count the cumulative percentage of demonetized videos, you get the following pattern. First off, there should not be any pattern at all for the demonetized videos. It should simply be at random, unless YouTube is actively censoring demonetized.
Patterns are systematic. If it's truly a random process, there should be no patterns that you can follow. When there are patterns, that means there's a system. When there's a system, that means it's purposeful. Okay? That's what happens when you follow patterns. When you see patterns, that means there's a reason why you see a pattern. Okay? There's a reason why you see the pattern. The pattern is there because it's being done purposely. Okay? It's not accidental. It's not random. If you have a channel and all of your videos get demonetized in 20 minutes, that is purposely done. That is not randomly done. That's not a computer doing that. That is a system or a person doing it.
Monetized videos. When YouTube decide which videos get recommended, they account for views, comments, and likes. Now, if YouTube doesn't account for monetization status, then there will not be any visible pattern, which there is.
I promise you, Sharky. Okay, so here we go with Sharky, right? This is great info. I plan on having at least one spicy live stream dealing with a sensitive topic, so I have to be extra careful. Don't worry about that. You're not monetized. You're far away from being monetized. Do not worry about that. The system will sort things out as you create content, and it'll attach things as you create content. If you are still trying to get content on your channel, just focus on putting whatever content you want to put onto your channel. Do not worry about getting flagged by, this bot and AI and all this other stuff. This, again, like the 4K conversation, this is for people on the intermediate or the expert side of the game when it comes to YouTube. So if you don't have content on your platform, don't take all of this to heart. Just focus on your content. But keep this on the back burner of how things operate on YouTube, because this isn't something that you're going to hear in a room where they're talking about thumbnails and analytics, because these are things that people don't talk about, because this is, I guess, problematic or taboo type of information, because you can't be a creator YouTube coach and talk about and point out how much of a shit show and fuckery YouTube does. You cannot point out this level of fuckery with YouTube and be a creator coach. This is so problematic that when you point this out to people, you cannot do that. They don't do that. They would rather say it's a conspiracy or it's not real. Okay? I don't have that kind of incentive to mislead people or not give people the information, because I watch a lot of channels that suffer through this a lot. Okay? That's why I'm doing it, because a lot of people's channels suffer because they go through this exact thing without having the proper information and never learning the proper information. Okay? That's why I do what I do. When I create a new channel, I will shut the whole graphic design game down through your advice. Well, I hope to see it. I hope you drop your channel link. I want to see that. You trying to tell me you're gonna be a big? I'm a big YouTuber. Trying to tell you you're gonna be a big YouTuber you're gonna be a big YouTuber for my advice. I gotta see that. Let's get back to the video.
Yes. So what our research shows is that demonetized videos, especially with lower viewership, are less promoted than monetized videos with the same viewership. Such a significant difference can only be caused if YouTube is actively devaluing demonetized videos using some sort of function.
Getting marked with the values 102, 104, and 109 is not an outright death sentence for a video, but think of it like a significant weight holding the video down inside YouTube. If a video has a lot of external traffic and like a lot of likes and comments from a creator's built-in audience, then it can probably push past the fact that it was deemed non-advertiser friendly and still accumulate a lot of views. But for a smaller channel, getting...
And this is why it's so important for people to not cloud watch content. When you cloud watch content, especially when you're watching a content creator who is having these kind of issues, cloud watching does not help that channel at all. Interacting with the channel helps the channel. Interacting with the content, the content creator helps the channel. Liking, sharing, commenting, chatting, that helps boost the platform, the video, beyond the barriers of what demonetization is causing. So it's very important for you to really be interacting with the creators who are having these issues. And that's why you see some creators who are demonetized, who have issues, and they still get some sort of success. It's because of the community. The community is very important when you have a creator that's demonetized.
Marked with those values is essentially like being banished from search and discovery. YouTube encourages advertisers to align your video with the right content. They can opt in or out of certain keywords and topics and channels. Here's a hypothetical. Let's say a makeup company is choosing their audience for a new ad campaign, and they tell YouTube, show our ad to men and women across the whole world of all ages who have an interest in makeup, and then they tick one last box that says, don't run our ad on any sensitive content. Fair enough, right? So here's that ad, okay? Just floating around looking for a home. Now let's say there are two makeup channels, each run by a different makeup artist, and they make a video on the exact same topic, and the videos are just as good. For the sake of argument, let's say that both of these videos are perfectly equal in educational value, but have some differences related to the identity of the makeup artist. One of the artists is a straight female, and the other happens to be a drag queen. Does one channel get to make all the money and show up first in search results because computers have been told that a man wearing a dress is a socially sensitive topic? That wouldn't be fair, because the result of that kind of sorting is this group of people gets to accumulate wealth and this group of people doesn't. This group of people gets to sit up front and this group of people sits back here. Segregation and oppression are not new technologies. What do all of these secret codes mean? If YouTube isn't going to tell us, maybe we can start doing some testing and figure them all out. And digging down further into the codes, what has the algorithm been taught is advertisements are just the name of the game now. It's smart for a company.
I'm trying
Baby's first AdSense tool. Advertisers are actually pumping their videos that are, say, rated M.
So that's the follow-up. So this is the follow-up to that video.
The last leg of the ad campaign targeted these keywords specifically. They placed ads on videos related to coming out of the closet, suicide prevention, and Me Too. The videos that were rated mature along that keyword cloud are heartbreaking to see. This is clearly where the results are the most concerning, because the bot can't seem to tell the difference between a video that's, let's say, making light of suicide and a video that's aimed at dissuading people who are suicidal from going through with it. Look at this video, for example, titled, "Before You Commit Suicide, Watch This Video First." The comments are filled with people sharing how much this video helped them. Some people saying that watching it literally saved their life that day. It was rated M and made harder to find. That should not be happening. If a young person is considering hurting themselves, this might be the video they need to see. There should not be an age limit.
I don't care about the morality. I just want to see the data.
Who rely on this platform.
Not to say I don't care about people with suicide prevention and stuff like that, but my focus is the data and the technical aspect of this, right? It's not about it's not like he's making like a moral argument towards why it should not be happening when it's more of a technical argument. This shouldn't be happening because content should be seen. It shouldn't be getting hit with mature rating because it's content that needs to be seen. Well, not to sound like a hypocrite, right? Let me backtrack a little bit. Technically, when you're talking about that, it's a mature topic. It is. However, YouTube shouldn't be de-ranking mature topics on the platform like that. If everyone can see I almost called her iCarly. Cardi B's WAP video. People should be able to see the suicide prevention video as well.
For a job, which YouTube leadership say that they want you to do.
So what we stand for is really 4 freedoms.
They asked for this. They wanted this. YouTube is the number. We've got some buffoons here, but trust your content creators to build their content to fit within those guidelines. They'll adapt if.
So pretty much what really needs to happen is that when you get your channel demonetized, instead of you seeing this random shit, you simply just see that. You simply just see that. If you just see that, that helps you know what you have to do to change your channel, to change your platform, to get monetized again. We got Information Man. What's going on? What's good? What's up to you? Wow, that guy has 104 on his forehead. Sounds like the worst combination of the Lock and Gnome and comedian Gilbert Gottfried. He got a funny sounding voice. He do. His girlfriend's pretty hot though. I can't even front. Girlfriend's pretty hot.
If they just know what they need to adapt. We're already seeing that happening as channels learn the hard way and start trying to teach each other what works, what doesn't work. Our dog, whoever the fuck that is, we have a few pages of a document that was being used by human manual reviewers to look at YouTube videos. But the source was anonymous. This came out a few months ago before the whole Logan Paul Japan debacle. So the rules could have changed by now. They probably did. Why can't we have something like this on the up and up? Why can't we get something better than this? There are nice Q&A sessions on the Creator Insider channel now. But at the end of the day, we still have to upload a video and then get a result, which we interpret ourselves based off of an on or off switch. Nothing is more frustrating than spending days or even weeks on a video, uploading it, having it pick up a mature rating secretly behind the scenes, we don't know why, and then instead of being able to move on to the next creative process, or let's say take care of responsibilities we have in our life, we have to spend the next few days changing out the tags, experimenting with the title, making a new thumbnail, bleeping the dialogue, re-rendering, re-uploading over and over, trial and error style, until suddenly, ding, mysteriously, the ad-friendly light changes from yellow to green. That is a baby's toy, and it's covering up for experimental, failing technology. Google's Vision API, which is widely believed to be the tool that's scanning thumbnails to determine their ad-friendliness or not, scans a thumbnail of PewDiePie and sees that as racy. Sees a picture of YouTube's CEO, Susan Wojcicki, as racy, and yet a photo of you-know-who's in a you-know-what group, and sees that as racy.
So let's talk about this for a second. So what you're seeing right here, one of the Nimmin brothers had, and click those links. I'm gonna leave those links in the chat room. Those are to the Google documents of breaking down the analytical demonetization of the keyword systems that were done by independent researchers. So save those links and look at that on your own time, please. Again, if you're appreciating the content, like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, definitely support the channel with the donation information description. Cash App, PayPal, or Stream Elements tip if you want to support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, this is a tool that Google uses. It's the Google Cloud platform. It's part of like their AdSense marketing platform that they use. And what this does is it takes an image and it categorizes it based on what's being shown in the image, right? So this is what the AI is doing. So you have a picture of PewDiePie and it has a 3 as an adult. It's possible. It has 1 as spoof, which is very unlikely. 3 in medical, which is possible. Violence is 2, which is unlikely. So it's more possible to be adult, less likely to be a spoof. It's possible to be medical. So in this day and age, it could be labeled medical misinformation. 2 for violent, but it's unlikely to be violent. And 5 for racy. Very likely to be racy. So if you have adult information, if you have adult content that is racy, you're more likely to get demonetized and get deranked and get your video devalued based on what the system sees.
Racy sees a picture of YouTube's.
Again, we have a picture of Susan Wojcinski with her leg crossed and a gap with her dress or skirt, right? So when you look at it, it's 2 adult unlikely, 1 for medical, 1 for spoof, and 1 for violence, all very unlikely, and 4 for racy. So again, you have an adult picture that's likely to be a racy image. Again, looking at the AI, the bot, the algorithm, the system, it will see that and it would say, okay, I'm going to derank this, devalue this, and monetize this video. Again, this can be your thumbnail image. Your video can have nothing included in regards to racy content or adult content, but this is your thumbnail. So this is what happens. There's a system that monitors the thumbnails and will derank your video based on the thumbnail alone. All right, let's continue.
CEO Susan Wojcicki as racy, and yet a photo of you-know-who's in a you-know-what group, it thinks it's perfectly fine. That gets a clean bill of health, not violent. And I can't even say the name out loud about what that is because YouTube's clumsy closed caption scanning bot.
This again right here is the closed caption AI system where if you let YouTube handle your captions, the AI system will go right ahead and put these captions into your video. The system reads all metadata, pulls all information from the video that is seen, heard, and said into the metadata. So the captions are a part of the video. So when the AI system is reading through the video, it reads through the captions. And if your caption says terrorism, words like rape, suicide, murder, violence, these things, your video gets flagged and then your video gets demonetized. And you're looking at your channel and you're wondering, why did your video get demonetized? It's because of your captions.
Might think that I'm talking about you-know-what. This technology is fascinating, but it's also fascinatingly bad at its job right now. If you're going to be pushing this through as a live update running the site, it's got to be nearly perfect. And it's not even close. There's money being wasted. That's obvious. But poor communication.
YouTube, as of YouTube, I believe in 2018 or 2019, due to the way that the bot demonetizes content, YouTube lost about $500 million. The bot cost YouTube almost $1 billion in ad revenue because it demonetized so much content on the platform. It was an article. I read it on my channel. It was 2 years ago. I can't find it. Don't ask me to look it up. You're going to have to look that up yourself. But I read the article and I went over the article. So YouTube, the YouTube system that they use to demonetize content and rank content, estimate probably cost YouTube about $1 billion a year. It probably costs YouTube about $1 billion a year in ad revenue because it demonetizes so much content because the system just simply doesn't work. Okay.
And poorly performing machine learning or creating important turning points in people's lives. After the adpocalypse, people who are trying to make a living on YouTube have had to branch out into other sources of revenue to pay their bills. You're seeing channels that normally wouldn't otherwise care about selling t-shirts pushing their merch now. Everyone's into fashion all of a sudden. Diverse streams of revenue are becoming an...
Kim just said, information says facts. Kim says, I just checked an option for don't show potentially inappropriate words in auto captioning. Not sure if that helps anything. That actually does help. That actually will help you a lot, because what that will do is the AI system, once you upload a video, the AI system will not allow an inappropriate word to be inputted or to be pulled up into the caption system. So it won't be put into the caption system. So it will have to find another word that's appropriate, because when it goes to put in an inappropriate word on your channel, you have it checked to not use an inappropriate word. And the system already has its own list of words that it knows that are inappropriate. So you are actually helping yourself a lot when you're doing that. I would actually say a lot of content creators who are monetized who are having issues with monetization, which should do the same thing, and just to check inappropriate words. Again, if you want to have a channel, you want to have a free for all channel, you want to do as thou wilt, you do as you will and do what you want to do, but you just have to deal with the results of doing what you want to do. But I would say checking that option definitely would help your channel out a lot if you have those kind of issues. Because again, getting demonetized for Zulu is fucking absurd. But we pulled up the list and I showed you.
Necessity. YouTube even knows this, which is why they just acquired FameBit, which is a marketplace that connects creators with advertisers. That tells me that we're going to be seeing this even more than we already are. Witness me now! Witness me now! I'm going to tell you about Squarespace. A few years ago.
So the video's done. That's an ad. I want to play one more video. It is a shame.
Going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at my own expense.
Again, if you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, definitely support the channel. Information's in the description box below. Also, check out the links, those Google Docs, pull them up, save them on your end, look at that information, learn you something, read that, read it and repeat it. If you want to support the channel, links in the description box, Cash App, PayPal, Stream Elements. You can tip the channel any way you want to support the content. The woman who doesn't exist says there is a way to make money on YouTube without all the extra fluff, but only certain content can get away with that. You can make content on YouTube with any type of content. You just have to do it in a certain type of way. That's it. As long as you understand the way to do it, to make it, keep it up as demonetized content, then you won't have any issues. But you have to understand the trick. There's a trick to everything. So this last video I want to pull up. This last video I'm gonna pull up is CeeLo, and he is one of the researchers. It's the extensive evidence of algorithm censorship of demonetized videos. So we're gonna kill the music. And I'm just going to go ahead and cue this up.
Now, before I start explaining anything, we highly encourage you to read our full report, our Pro Syndicate, and even PewDiePie. Now, you might have heard this narrative before, but we're set to 1%. The exact date of the deprecation was November 10th, as stated in the YouTube API revision history, which is clearly visible where the branch of our organization Karlaplan that I'm a part of, no excluded _
There you go right there. Okay, so excluded _ ads.
Ads in the source code of all videos with monetization enabled. You can access this variable by right-clicking and selecting View Page Source. Then simply press Ctrl F and search for excluded _ ads. If your video is demonetized, it will have one of the following key variables: 102, 104, or 109. Now, during the final hours of making this video, YouTube have publicly come out on Twitter admitting that we are censoring videos based on their content. They are, however, denying that the yellow mark or ad status have any effect on algorithm promotion. Our evidence show proof of algorithm censorship of videos with the excluded _ ads variables 102, 104, and 109. This is equal to 90% of all demonetized videos. So what YouTube is basically saying is that 10% of the demonetized videos aren't affected, only 90%. I mean, we're not that stupid, aren't we? With that said, let's get to evidence. If you take the related videos for videos that are demonetized and then arrange them by the total amount of views, with the lowest to the left and the monetization to, despite the devaluation, thereby causing... Because let's say that YouTube would implement a constant algorithm suppression of 40%. It
So here's what I'll do for you.
will not show up in this graph. It would just simply push down the percentage of demonetized videos in the graph at the same percentage across the board. This type of constant percentage suppression will not be as effective at lower viewership. Because if you remove 40% of the views for a video with 100 views total, that would only be 40 views removed, which is a very small difference. If you would remove 40% from a video with 1 million views, however, a total of 400,000 views would be removed. Thereby YouTube have implemented a sandbagging function that has a much higher effect on videos with lower viewership, which is clearly visible in this graph.
So like I pointed out earlier, whenever you see these weird little dips, that's a sign that the video got demonetized as it was gaining more views. Uh-oh, I'm in the way. Here we go. When you see this little dip right here, this dip means that the video got demonetized as it was making its way up. So it's making its way up, came down, came up, but then this dip is when it gets demonetized and it gets deranked, and it comes all the way up here, and it happens again. See, this is twice now, and then it makes its way up, happens again, then it makes its way up, and it doesn't happen again. So this video or this example shows 1, 2, 3 examples of a video getting deranked or losing views due to some form of demonetization due to the algorithm. Let's continue.
Which is clearly visible in this graph. Now to make a comparison, if I have two functions, one that is constant and one that is altered in the following manner. Remove 1250 views from x, and then remove x times 1.4 to the power of 0.75. Then count the total percentage of the sandbag values for the total of the two functions. This would create the following graph. While this isn't comparable to the algorithm, it's a very good reference for how the percentage of a sandbag function compares to a non-sandbagged function. Because if you overlay the two functions, you see a very similar pattern. And as a last point, the trend is the same for related videos with or without related videos from the same channel as the original video. I also forgot to mention that we have excluded all related videos that have been uploaded within a month of our script, demonetized videos. Lots of people have shown evidence of their videos being affected by their monetization status without having 102, 104 and 109. We are absolutely certain that this is not exclusive to 102, 104 and 109. We know for sure that YouTube is censoring videos based on their monetization status. Because what made the video demonetized in the first place? Well, it was content that YouTube have labeled as not suitable for a wider audience.
Yes.
Which is what YouTube have admitted to censoring. Now some of you watching right now might think that this is a good change. That YouTube should censor alt-right personalities and similar controversial YouTubers. What you need to understand is that this censorship is far from limited to controversial YouTubers. Take the following videos as an example. Joey Graceffa's coming out video. Gigi Gorgeous I'm a lesbian video. Doodle Vloggle's coming out video. Suicide prevention videos like For Those Considering Suicide, and Boogie 288's on the topic of suicide prevention. While I do understand that suicide prevention videos shouldn't be monetized, do you think that any of the videos I just mentioned should be censored?
And that's what you do with that, because really?
This is a perfectly fine video, talking about how he came out, and how you shouldn't care if someone is gay, lesbian, bisexual, and just accept people for who they are. And YouTube have labeled it with 102 and 115, ultimately censoring this video, and it's a very beautiful message to the world. I think the only way that YouTube will stop this censorship is if YouTubers come together in a union or a pact, saying that we will collectively leave YouTube if they don't end this disgusting censorship, while at the same time addressing all of the complaints that YouTube have ignored for years.
That will never happen.
Because they are censoring videos using a system that will remove advertising for 1.8 million views. Just because their captioning system miscaptioned "bet he is" for bitch. If YouTube really think that they are doing enough for their community, I would love to see the community prove them wrong.
I would say if you want, you can watch this video. I'm going to watch this one because I actually haven't watched this video right here.
Well, this...
No, don't care about Xbox. I'm going to wrap it up here. This is actually kind of like, it's kind of how I used to do my other streams. Never ever. So let's slide know the fucking answer to that. You know the answer to that. We gonna kill that for a second, right? Slide know the answer to that. And you know I know the answer to that. The solution to the demonetization, the algorithmic demonetization that happens on the platform, obviously, is for YouTubers to come together as a collective, leave the platform, and become a union. That will never, ever, 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 ever happen. Ever happen, right? And I'm going to outline the reasons why. One obvious reason is ego. Why should I leave the platform where I can make hundreds upon thousands of dollars a day? I have people to feed. I have to take my travels to go in Brazil and Colombia. I make all my money. I can buy my car, my Rollies, in Sly's case, my diamond-studded G-Shock. Shots fired! My diamond-studded G-Shock watch. Why should I? And my light is, oh, come on. I gotta fix the tape. Why should I do that to help other people? Right? Why should I help other people? Right? Why should I leave the platform? My situation is fine. Why do I have to help you? Right? Why should we leave altogether when I'm making money? I'm doing fine. I mean, you may not be doing fine, but I'm doing fine. My people are doing fine. My other creator friends are doing fine. You're not my creator friend, so why should I help you? Slide code onto the G-Shock shit. It's a nice watch though. I like it too. Why should I help other creators? Obviously, to solve this problem, YouTubers should be in a union, because if you were in a union, YouTube would no longer be able to do this. But of course, that will never happen. Will all these creators leave YouTube and go to a better platform that doesn't algorithmically ban you like Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute? Probably not. Most likely not. Why should I? What have they done for me? Absolutely. What have you done for me? My people are fine. Jacksepticeye, the other guy with the deep voice, Asian dude. Like, my friends are fine. I got 5 million. He got 8 million. He got 10. She got 2. She got 4. My friends are doing good. Why should I help you and you don't even have the subscriber count that my friends have? We're fine. Why should we go out of our way to do something for you? So no. If the solution is to unionize, no, that will never happen. That will never solve your issue, right? There is no solution to this problem. This is going to continue. It will only get worse, and it's going to persist. The only real solution to solve the problem of getting algorithmically demonetized, demoted, and shadow banned on YouTube is to simply take your ball and go home and go somewhere else. Yes, YouTube is one of the biggest. It's like, you can't sit with us. Yeah. And there's nothing but YouTube elitists on YouTube. I mean, the amount of slobber knocking that happens with these creators, that it is like, listen, these creators can be some of the most egotistical people that you can interact with, the most hypocritical, airheaded, like, just the most annoying people you can deal with. And you expect these people to work with random people to leave the platform? They're like, no, I'm fine over here. I just started making full-time income on YouTube. Why would I leave YouTube to help you and you not even making as much as I am? That'll never happen. Okay? I like the I like the utopian idea in a perfect world where everyone sat back and said, hey, this doesn't make any sense for me and it doesn't make any sense for you. And one day you might get to my position and you'll probably have the same issue that I have now. The only solution is to go to another platform. Yes, YouTube is the biggest search engine, one of the biggest search engines on the world. That there's no way getting around that. However, YouTube is currently doing things on the platform. Why you look at me when you look at me when you said elitist and egotistic?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Nick, wait a minute. You just came into the chat room. What are you talking about, Nick? No. Elitists can make $5,000 a month on YouTube. Don't get that shit twisted at all. Some of these people make $5,000 a month on YouTube and think that they fucking Elon Musk on this bitch. I promise you. I promise you. I talk to them on Twitter and Clubhouse. Some of these people that make about $2,000-$3,000 a month on YouTube, that you would swear you were talking to fucking Mr. Beast the way these people act. I promise you that. Wasn't Casey Neistat trying to start an alternative video creators platform a couple of years ago? If he couldn't pull it off, probably nobody can. Ain't worried about what Casey Neistat doing. Casey Neistat ain't big like that. Like, he ain't. It's not about his name. It's not about his name, because there's another creator who has a platform called Storyblocks, and he and when Leafy got knocked off the platform, Leafy's over there making content with Storyblocks. So it's not about Casey Neistat. It's not about Casey Neistat. It's not about his name. It's about the actual execution, right? It's not about replacing YouTube. There are YouTube alternatives, but people just have to go to them. Okay? Odyssey is a better platform. BitChute's a better platform. Rumble is a better platform. Libri is a better platform. DLive is slightly a better platform. Okay? There are other platforms that you can go to and post content on YouTube. The problem is that YouTube is the biggest search engine. YouTube has the best monetization rewards program out of most social media platforms. But Sly. But Sly. Everybody trying to be Mr. Beast. There's only one Mr. Beast, and his name is Mr. Beast. Ain't no gonna be no other Mr. Beast, okay? but Sly. So no, there's not. So if you don't, taking my talents to TikTok, yeah. Diversify. You don't have to have all your content on YouTube. If you don't like that YouTube's demonetizing, take your shit to Rumble. Rumble got a nice payment program. Take it to BitChute. BitChute got a nice payment program. Take it to Odyssey. Odyssey has a nice payment program in crypto. Take it to DLive. DLive has a nice payment program. Take it to OnlyFans. OnlyFans has a nice payment processing program too. Listen, adult content, porn stars aside, OnlyFans is an exceptional platform to make money. Take it to Patreon if you don't like Patreon. Take it to Subscribestar if you don't like that. Take it to Go On Fanbase. It's a new platform. Go there. Okay? But you're not going to change anything on YouTube. What YouTube is going to do, YouTube is slowly going to kill itself. Back to reality. That top engine. Listen, that search engine is key. Listen, I ain't gonna say that search engine ain't key though. Come on. I'm on BitChute, PressView, and on the Wake Up Radio. Yes, that's Sly's platform on the Wake Up Radio. Okay? You can take your content and put it somewhere else where you can make more money than you'd probably make on YouTube. And that's what you have to do. YouTube is going to kill itself. YouTube is slowly choking. Big tech, big tech in general, is slowly killing itself with what it's been doing. Okay? Big tech is choking the life out of its own platform. Twitter's choking the life out of its own platform, and so is YouTube, and Facebook is Facebook. Fedbook is Fedbook. If you know, listen, Fedbook is Fedbook, okay? So we all know what Facebook is. Facebook is Fedbook. So if you want to hitch your wagon to Fedbook, it is what it is over there, okay? It's Fedbook. We don't even call it Facebook, we just call it Fedbook, all right? So it's Fedbook. But Fedbook does the same shit. So the three major big tech platforms are choking the life out of themselves, and they are slowly killing off their platforms. Regardless of what you think, is the outgoing future, if you think the future is bright, you're not paying attention. Okay? Big tech is falling. Big tech is starting to slowly eat shit, and it's falling to narratives that it can't. Rest in peace, Tumblr. Listen. Okay? I used to love not safe for work on Tumblr. That's all I'm gonna say. 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 Big tech is choking the life out of its own platform, and it's slowly dying. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube doesn't care about anybody on here. Don't care about none of y'all. It don't give a fuck about Mr. Beast. It don't give a fuck about PewDiePie. It don't give a fuck about MKBHD. It don't give a fuck about Ryan's World. It don't give a fuck about Baby Shark. It don't give a fuck about nobody. YouTube cares about big media. CNN, CBS, Fox News, ABC, Sony Pictures, Warner Brothers, Lionsgate. Man, I miss Tumblr, man. Tumblr was the shit, man. That's what YouTube cares about. YouTube don't care about no creators anymore. All right? They don't care about creators. YouTube wants to compete with with cable television. And in doing so, YouTube's going to kill itself very slowly. Not be replaced, but kill itself very slowly. Okay? Sharky, good evening again. Sharky, where's this video at where Bill Maher talked about Mr. Beast and hypocrisy? I want to see that. Where is that at? So if you want to solve the demonetization issue and you just can't seem to fix it on YouTube, you need to learn the tips, the tricks, the technical details of things, the things that a creator class won't teach you. You need to learn that, figure that out, adjust that to your platform. Once you understand that, apply that to your content, apply that to your platform, and see what works. Ultimately, if you are completely fed up with YouTube and you just don't want to deal with YouTube anymore, you can take your talent somewhere else. Take your talent to TikTok. TikTok is a CCP app, but it is what it is. The government isn't everything. It is what it is at this point. I just don't like TikTok, but it is what it is. You go to Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, PressView, Subscribestar, Fanbase, On the Wake Up Radio Sly site, DLive, PressView. I think that's something Odinga did. You got PressView. I mean, you got all kinds of social media sites where you can just push your shit on there and leave YouTube alone, and you get paid more. OnlyFans, Patreon. Okay? So you have to learn the things that the creator coaches probably won't know. They don't know, or they probably won't show you. You have to learn that. No TikTok, no Facebook. I feel you. Soundbite. YouTube don't care about creators. No, it doesn't. It hasn't for many years, and it never will. Okay? So, as you guys know, this has been a nice one. This has kind of been like, I have to admit, this is like how I used to do my streams. Like this is how like I used to do my old streams, to be honest with you. I used to do my old streams like this, where I would just break down some YouTube stuff and some information outside of podcasting and live streaming. Of course, doing content like this doesn't really help me with the algorithm because it's different kind of content than what I normally do, and the computer wants to figure out where to place me, and I tell it all the time, you can't place me anywhere because I am the technician and I do tech edutainment, and that is not a category on YouTube. I am my own category, okay?
Maybe I need some space. Maybe I need some space. I love it one-sided. It should really be given.
I am my own category. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I would consider this like a throwback stream to what I kind of used to do on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned some things. I'm going to keep this one up. I'm not going to take it down. I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to let the people see the stream. It's a 2-hour stream. If you want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. It is what it is. But as you know, woo, man, as you know, we had a nice one. This is a classic. But as you know, when you hear that sound and it's time to get on up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. I did not think I was going to get technical. I always say I'm not going to get technical, ladies and gentlemen. I always say I'm not going to get technical. But I end up getting technical. We got very technical tonight. We talked about demonetization. I got into the nitty gritty, like when you counting the money and then you flip it and you count it again. You're like, how much is here? And you're like, damn, I gotta put the stack here and I gotta keep counting it up. And you're like, damn, everything is right. Yes, indeed. We got very technical tonight. We broke it down to the nitty gritty, to the meat bone, to the meat rack, to the pink meat and the dark meat. And I did my very best to explain some things. I might have said some things wrong. I might have said some things right. But at least you know that the information is out there. My goal is not to convince you on anything, but to simply share you the information. And then you go upon yonder and do what you have to do to learn yourself. Okay, I want you to learn yourself. I want you to not be sitting there staring at the screen wondering why the fuck I'm demonetized. I can't post my videos anymore. I can't make money anymore. Why is my channel like that? All you have to do is you have to go on YouTube, open up the search bar, type in COVA, and I promise you I got you. But until next time, good night.
I'm a big YouTuber.
Yes!
Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the press will be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the press will be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust it. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune on flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe, and 40 on 50 is really the time. Why are you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you bitches are thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and dot on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. Fuck all the pictures, dimensions. I don't with your digits, I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it.
that passage closed for centuries. 'Cause I can't take it anymore. Forgetting what I'm fighting for. And your words just stop, don't hold me back. Don't hold me back. Just let me go, just let me go. I've been trying my best not to think about you, but you're stuck in my mind. I've been hypnotized by you. Hey, all the suffering and pain got me feeling so blue. 'Cause when it was us, I was never enough. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, pushing me down instead of pulling me up. So tell me what I'm supposed to do just to be alright. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, yeah. I've been worrying about my mental health, 'cause when I'm alone, I keep checking my phone.
I'm on the move, can't stop me if you try. Coasting on now, baby, it's just me, myself, and I. 'Cause I'm on the move, every Every step is by design. It's only up from here till the moment I die.
I've been on the move, I never saw myself ever coming so far. Taking small steps, I was trying to find my groove. Yeah, I know that I was off to a really slow start, but now I'm running. Never looking back, I'm going towards where the sun is. Even if it blinds me, I'll find peace inside. Keep my eyes on the prize till I'm holding it above me, yeah. I'm not sure exactly what the future holds. All I know is mama told me I should always shoot for gold, yeah. And every time I'm worried, I'll start losing hope. I'll take one step at a time and find my way back to the road, yeah. And I've been on this journey now for way too long to turn around. The sun is out, so I'll be on the move.
I'm on the move, can't stop me if you try. Coasting on now, baby, it's just me, myself, and I. Cause I'm on the move, every step is by design. It's only up from here till the moment I die.
I'm still chasing the happily ever after. This at the end of my story. I'm anxious to turn the chapter. My yellow brick road is painted with gold. I'm gonna have it all, but trust I ain't trading my soul. And if I'm being honest, I was at the bottom, took a lot of steps, had a little trouble with my walking. Now I'm Wally West. It's obvious that nothing's gonna slow me down. Little introvert, but everybody know me now. It's like it's getting kinda crazy how everything's changing. I hope I never lose myself. Moving so fast and trying to maintain it, hoping I can prove myself. It's been an uphill battle, yeah. On the road less traveled, but I know I can make it if I try.
And I've been on this journey now for way too long to turn around. The sun is out, so I'll be on the move.
I'm on the move, can't stop me if you try. Coasting on now, baby, it's just me, myself, and I. Cause I'm on the move, every step is by design.